Today in Roadcraft, we expand our road network to add a new route here on the map Kernel. Luckily, we have so much paved road already that we really just need to add a small section. And then we're going to try something tricky with our mobile base that probably won't work. Hey guys, welcome back to Roadcraft. We're still here on the Kernel map, continuing where we left off last time. And a couple things I want to get out of the way first. First, we're picking up where we left off last time. We're a little over halfway through Kernel. We're on the third goal. We just started on the third goal here. We started off here by paving this huge paved road network, which crisscrosses the whole map, and that's very handy. But we're going to have to pave some more roads. Today's objective, I think what we're going to be doing is paving a road, paving this here. Luckily, we already have some paved that requires, and also we're going to have to find this geyser station. So first, a couple of notes. In the recent videos, I was saying how the game is still broken after the patch and the controls are messed up. And a lot of y'all didn't seem to know what I was talking about or didn't agree. Well, we're over a week away from the patch. It was over a week ago and they're still broken. I checked today. What it is this. If you go to settings, this is on controller. It's on controller and people confirmed it's on all platforms. This setting right here no longer works. See right there, it says invert vertical axis, but if I push up, my camera slams into the ground. It doesn't go up, my camera slams into the ground. If I put it to invert off, which is what those controls should be, obviously pushing up, my camera slams into the ground. What I'm saying is that setting doesn't work. It doesn't invert it. So if you are like me and I have to play with inverted camera controls, otherwise I can't play the game, then this doesn't work. So what I've done is I've inverted them through Steam, which I just want to get this out of the way before we start the video. It means that this now works fine for me, but my map zoom in and out backwards. So sometimes you'll see me zoom backwards the wrong way because my controller's reversed, because the developer still has not fixed this. I can't believe it. I've never seen such a blatant just disregard of the broken state of the game. And so that's what I've been talking about. Yeah, so I hate to start the video off with that, but let's get to work. Anyway, my controller is fixed through Steam controller config, which I put out a video a few days ago showing that. All right, so right here it says patch up breaches in the pipeline leading to geyser station. Now, one thing I can do is I can try to use my mouse for this map, because my mouse works just normal on here. Patch up. Okay, so I don't know where the geyser station is, but as we have we've got a thing right there to find it, so we should do that first. Now right here, this road. So they want us to do this road. Actually, I kind of do got to use my controller because it's what I know how to use. This road goes from this warehouse to the radio tower. Okay, it goes between these 2 points here. Because of our work, paving the roads that were not necessary to be done, this road here, I paved all the way to here, and I've also already paved it through this area here. So we just got to pave some here from the warehouse. So let's get started on that. We're going to need a dump truck. Well, it's a beautiful day out here on Kernel. It's actually not raining. They said that they made it rain less. I still see it raining all the time, but hey, it's not raining right now. So we got to make a road through here. How deep is this? It's not that deep because we drove through here. We took a crane through here. Wait. Yeah, no, we don't go up there. No, we turn here. Yeah, we turn around this. And are we in quarry range? I forget. I've not poured sand here in a while. Oh yeah, that's literally a sand quarry right in front of us. Literally right there, it's a sand quarry. Of course we are fine right here. So let's see if I can. We're sand right there. Oh, I forgot. We're gonna have to cover the whole road. Obviously, we have to cover the whole road. I was just focused on getting this here. I want to get some extra room here so we can have a big fat corner to turn around in. Get some sand there. There we go. I think that'll smooth out. I think that'll smooth out decently. Well, and for the routes here on Kernel, I've just been paving them all from the start. I've not even been I think most of these routes you could probably run with a dirt road. I've not even been trying. You know, as I said, you know, like in the previous videos, I got tired of failing routes on the other maps. And yeah, when I came here to Kernel, I decided I'm going to take this seriously. I'm not going to pull any punches. I'm going to pave everything. So I've not even been, yeah, I've paved every route that I've done here. I think I did one, actually. I did one in dirt. Yeah, but I've paved over it since then, so. And I guess that up there, that yellow door up there is where we're taking this to. Oh, darn it. Don't you hate when it gets... Oh, I got stuck like that. Sometimes, you know, you try to start it moving and it dumps sand before it moves. Yeah, and it gets stuck on its own hump of sand. Yeah, I wish there was a sand pour mode so that we could pour it evenly. I've said that, I say it like all the time, and you guys agree, everyone wishes that. It'd be cool if there was a sand pour mode so we didn't have to deal with the jerkiness of this. Whoops. I accidentally... Well, I tried to move my camera, but I still had my, but I think it's still okay. We'll see how that shakes out. It's probably enough, to be honest. I'm putting down more than enough, but, let's go back to the beginning and get this connected with sand, down to the paved part. Then we'll bring the bulldozer out here. We'll get this smoothed out and get to work on this. There's only a little bit of, well, as I already showed, there's only a little bit of stretch on the end that needs to be done. This is going to be a pain. Can we go around this? I think we can go around this. I don't have to drive over all that humpy dirt. There we go. Shortcut back to the road. I could have put the road through there. I mean, yeah, technically I could have. Alright, so we just need to get this paved here. Whoops, that kind of went off to the side there. Let's see what we can do about that, and then hopefully I can push some of that sand off the pavement. We'll see here. Just get some sand down right here. I think that'll work. Look at the dozer out here, we'll see. Yeah, I guess they must have fixed the rain. This is the longest I've seen it out here sunny. I always say that it's just the weather, or I always say that it's beautiful here in Kernel. I always say it's the most beautiful map. It is. It's nice to see it clear and sunny out here. And let's see if we can push this sand off the road. I guess that's fine. It'll be fine. Okay, now we need to fix this mountain range of sand into one thing here. I think if we just run just a straight line right through here, it'll do exactly what we want it to do. And I'm going to cut this kind of to the inside, hoping we can bring the sand around more on the inside. I generally will do another pass. I don't want to do too many. I feel like if we do too many, and I could be wrong on this, but I feel like if we do more than just a couple, it might kind of wallow out more of the low places. You might, like, you know, exaggerate the rise and fall more. Like, you know, the more we push it, the more it's going to dig out the low spots and pile up on the ridges. That's what I feel like. And I definitely only do passes unless it really needs to be widened. I definitely only do passes in the same spot, so that way we don't have a ridge running along our road, you know. At least that's how I do it. Let me know if you do something different, or if you have a tip that makes that easier or something somehow. But I think just one more pass will be fine. I found that multiple passes with the asphalt roller, definitely helpful. Multiple passes with this thing I found... outside of, you know, smoothing over really rough areas. See, this looks like it's actually fine. Main reason I'm running this to whole length is because if I only lower the blade in parts of it, I feel like that will definitely create ridges if I only lower the blade in parts of it. So I'm going to do one solid pass right where our trucks will be driving. I always make these routes intended for a semi. You know, like, I don't know what truck it's going to send, so I make these with a semi in mind. And when we get up here to the asphalt, I'm going to try to smooth this out over the asphalt. But, I mean, it's smooth enough, but, well, I didn't mean to pour it on the asphalt. Yeah. Just kind of see if we can smooth this out here. I mean, it'll be fine, but it's not going to look perfect, which is going to bug me, but now because I did that, yeah, I'm going to hit this one more time here because I can see there's a little bit of unevenness there. All right, so this part's ready to pave. There's one more part that we need. That's down here at the end. So we're going to take this back down past the base, down towards the radio tower. When I was paving this, like, this section of road here was not required. I haven't used this. Yeah, I haven't used this for a route yet. So you're supposed to have to do this for the route too, but I already paved this in advance. Yeah, I just started, like, paving everything on the map that looked like I might need it. So luckily, what I'm saying is, yeah, this part's already done. I paved it all the way. I was going toward the radio tower because I thought I might have to do a route there one day, but I didn't finish it. So all we got to do is finish it, like, probably not even 100 yards. Actually, now that I think about it, I have run a route down here. Yeah, there was a route that's required. See, there's a route that goes from the tunnel, I think, from the south tunnel to this place here, actually, I think. I've been on this map so long, it seems like. Well, I haven't played a whole lot the last week because after the patch broke the controls, I didn't play it all for a few days because I just couldn't. And some people may not play with inverted controls, I get it, but different people play different, you know, and that's why that there's those settings in games. So basically, just imagine if, however you play, imagine if the controls were forcing you to play backwards. Yeah, it hurts the brain to try to do it. So anyway, but thanks to some commenters, I found a way to change the controls in the Steam and etc. But anyway, so I have been on this map for a long time because there was a few days I didn't play like at all. Let's see. So we're going down to... Wait, we're going to have to move this truck, aren't we? Oh, hey, this truck now, with the patch, there were some good things that were added. This truck here can now do sand flattening. Yeah, I wouldn't mind. We'll try that out. Yeah, we'll try out the... What the heck? It wouldn't swap vehicles. There we go. We'll try out the sand flattening of this vehicle here. So we're going to be taking the road up to... Okay, right there, that yellow door right there. That's where we're taking the road to. Yeah, let's go ahead and I'm going to pull this guy back there. And we'll use this guy here for the sand flattening. Oh, actually, we don't want him on the road. We want him off the road because we're gonna have to drive back and forth because there's no sand here. Sand stops back here. I've got this truck still parked on the edge to extend out the radius a little bit, but we're gonna have to drive back there. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pour the sand starting from here this way. That way I'm not having to drive over the sand I poured to refill the truck. I think that's a decent tip. I should have thought of that in my tips video. Yeah, driving over the sand that you've already poured is time consuming. So we're going to pour the sand in this direction. We're going to take it all the way from where we can't pour sand to as far as we can get. All right, now this way we don't have to backtrack over the sand. It's going to go down to where we can fill this. Yeah, I got the big dump truck on the edge of this, the edge of the thing down here. I just keep it filled and we can fill off of it. So it should be right around this corner, I think. Basically, we can refill here. Yep, got to refill that guy. But I found first... Let's back this out of the range. If we don't back this out of the range, then that one will try to fill off this one, or something funky will happen. So I always back it out of the range, get in this guy. That truck down there holds twice as much as this truck, right? So I figure we're good to fill off it 2 more times. I just had to fill it up that one time. Yeah, in fact, we may be able to make this stretch this distance. I don't know. If I could control the flow of sand perfectly, I would lay far less sand than I lay. I tend to overdo it because I'm trying not to leave gaps, which aren't the end of the world. Actually, yeah, I would lay it thinner. I guess I just have a heavy hand. I'm a heavy-handed sand spreader. Okay, yeah, we just need to get a little bit more. Refill on sand. We turn around. And we'll lay this last bit, and we'll try out the cargo truck on sand flattening. There's a few things from the patch I haven't really used yet. I haven't tried out the recovery vehicles either. I mean, I don't think they'll be as good overall as the scout vehicles, but it's cool that there's some options. Although that one, the links with the trailer they added, I'll probably use that a lot. It's cool. It might be harder to use. I might still end up using... It might be that the cargo trucks are still just easier to use. Well, but it can take vehicles, which I like. Yeah, I'll have to use that. The links with the trailer and the ramps, I'm going to have to use that some. Alright, so we'll just connect this the rest of the way. Oh, I tried to stop it. Okay. Now, let's try out sand flattening on this guy. I haven't driven this vehicle in a while, and I don't mean just this one. I mean, the other grader. You know, the grader that this frame is built on. The original grader you start with, because I've had that Pioneer bulldozer for so long. I haven't used this machine to grade in a while. So, I mean, it steers differently, you know, because this is... You know, what I mean is because this is articulated and not tracked. It's going to steer a little differently. So we'll just get this pushed down here. And then this is really handy that, you know, both legs of this road we're paving on... It's on either side of our garage. Yeah, right next to a garage. So many roads on this map that you've got to do where you got to, you know, you're like a mile from anything. And so this one is really refreshingly handy. I guess we'll just do one pass on this. Although I might hit it one more time on the other end to try to stretch out the sand over the pavement, make sure it's a smooth transition. But this here is all good. Yeah, this thing works pretty good. I like this truck. I think it looks cool, too. I mean, sometimes, some of the vehicles in the game, there's times you have a choice of, you know, like, for instance, cargo trucks. You have a choice of which cargo truck you can use. I often base it off of, well, yeah, when it comes to the cargo trucks, which ones I think look cooler. This one looks cool. I usually use the one with a super huge wheels because I do like it. And I use the other one with the blade less because I think it looks... not cool. But, you know, looks, you know, that's the true end game, you know, as they say. Alright, so, that's all good. We're ready for Paver. Yeah, we're ready for the Paver out here. And we're going to have this road done. Record time. Whoops, backward zoom. Yeah, that's what it is. You know, I wish this game had cruise control, like in Farming Simulator. No, like in Farming Sim, I could put on cruise control and I could take one hand off the controller. Like, yeah, whoops. Oh, darn, what did I just press? There we go. Yeah, I was gonna... There we go. Well, I was just gonna reach over and grab a drink. If this were Farming Simulator, I would put it on cruise control and... Well, especially as, you know, this thing has a top speed of 4. And, yeah, so... I guess we just drive it to this end because we're almost there. By the time I figured out how to get it there faster, we'd already be there. As far as paving the other end, yeah, that just occurred to me. This thing is so slow. Paving the other end, you think we just recall it and drive it that way? I think so. Yeah, it's not worth trying to maneuver it any other way. See, we're already almost there. If it was a little farther, I'd be inclined to, and I've done this before, if you want to move this vehicle quickly and you don't want to take the time to load it and unload it, just get the links out and tow it. That's one way to move this thing from point to point faster. But here we're actually, yeah, it's so close. I don't think we even need to do that. But that's an option you can do with this guy. All right, let's try to get our pavement nice and smooth here. Blend it back with the road. Oh, excellent. Now, do we have enough surface to turn on? I guess we do. We'll see how it looks with this. From down there, yeah, it looks pretty narrow, but... Well, you know how those things like to turn sometimes. If they turn like they should, though, that's plenty of runway, plenty of road. So, with that done, we'll just call this back. And then go from the other way. There we go. All right, I'm going to head this down toward the radio tower and get the other end. Okay, this actually took more time, but I'm just curious to see how fast we can move it with this. Now, for the purpose of the video, yeah, it's going to take me more time, but I can edit that out. And for you guys, let's see, how much faster is this? And we got to push. Towing. I see, I hate that. It toggles the cable. There we go. Going on. Okay. Yeah, you can pull this thing a lot faster like this. Get it to where we're going. Oh yeah, actually this was a good idea because we're going all the way to the end down here. That's right. We're going farther than I thought we were going. Well, then I'm glad I hooked it up. I mean, look at this. We got a solid like 15 miles an hour here. Like, I think we could actually we could pass a lawnmower at this speed. We're cooking. You know, this might just be how I move this thing from now on. Thinking about it, this would be a breeze. Even moving this thing long distances, you know? Yeah, that'd be a breeze even for long distances. And it's way easier than, you know, pulling out a second vehicle to load it onto. Like, say, for instance, the Pike. I always moved it on the Pike. Pulling that out and moving them and all the stuff that entails. Yeah. All right, and we'll just take this all the way up here. We're done with that guy. You know, I'm just gonna recall him, get him out of the way. All right, and get this guy out. Oh, this guy's actually already parked. I know where this is at. It's actually parked right down the road. Right there. We're already here. Okay. Already headed out towards where we're going. And this, I have not used this since the patch. I haven't played a whole lot because reasons I mentioned earlier. This has... Okay, so it's currently rolling asphalt. I don't know why this change I'm not a fan of. I'm not a fan of it because usually I ran with these vehicle controls over here turned off. But with this thing, I have to have those on, otherwise I won't know if this is on or off, so I have to have those controls on. It's not a big deal. Well, with most vehicles it's not, but with cranes it is a big deal because it puts those crane controls huge, and you know, the axis controls that cover up your vehicle, they're so annoying and obtrusive. So I don't like running with these yeah, with this. It is what it is. This thing now has controls, so that's cool. I'll just turn it on. Yeah, I don't see any difference between on and off, so between speed, you know, so we'll just leave it on here. That's why I always figured if it's on, then I smooth out my road more on the way out to where we're going, right? Maybe if it's not on, it goes faster, like off-road or something. I don't know. Because this thing definitely doesn't do very good in the grass if you've ever tried. Although, if you want to make a cool little road, it makes cool little roads if you run it off-road. It, you know, kills the... kills, not the right word. It tramples, you know, the grass down to dirt. Okay, we're going to have to... Yeah, I've not done this in a minute. Because our paver is so much wider than this, I'm going to do what I usually do, which is 3 passes. Yeah, I'll go up the lefts, Come down the right, go up the middle, I guess. I think the road's pretty smooth. We don't need really any excess smoothing, so we'll just cover the surface from left to right. So, I'm curious. I haven't tried this. So if I put stop rolling asphalt, then I guess, I assume it won't roll. I just need to test it out. Yeah, definitely does not. Okay. Well, I'm sure there's some point to that. I don't think I need to go back up the middle. Usually I do, but this is all, this is like one of the smoother roads I've ever paved. This came out really smooth. Yeah, my roads usually come out pretty ripply, and while this could use some more, I think that's fine. Let's put this guy off here. I guess. Oh, we gotta. Here, let's stop rolling asphalt. Maybe it runs. Maybe it has a higher top speed or something. Yeah, we got to go do the far end. Oh, now I'm wishing I towed this thing too. This is slower than I remembered it being. Okay, here's the section we need paving. We'll just do a trip up and back, and yeah, because there's no waviness or ripples here that I'm aware of. So we'll just go up and back, and then we'll send that route, see what it is. I'm sure it'll turn out that I'm sure we don't need the paved road, but I like overdoing it. There's a satisfaction here on Kernel, you know, the most difficult map, and there's a satisfaction that comes when my routes, you know, work first time every time, because they're trying to challenge you. On Kernel, they're trying to challenge you, and so, yeah, that said, they still find some ways to do so. And there we go. That took longer than I thought. That was, yeah, that took a minute. That took longer than I thought, because it was like, oh, it's just these two sections of road. But, well, so, objectives, you'll just click here, amplify the signal. Okay, infrastructure, route, open, start plotting. Now, I want to use everything I know to try to make this route the best possible route it can be, which is as few points as possible on the straights. On the turns, we want to try to turn, like, try to apex early, because the trucks are probably going to overshoot points, right? We'll cut this one to the inside. Hang on. I want to have this here. See him going really wide on that. They went wide on that before. I ran a route down here, and it was semis, and he took that way wide. Well, we'll just see, yeah. Best thing we can do is just see what they're going to do around these turns. There we go. Home stretch. Oh, there's a little bit of a bump there over that. All right, let's see what we got. Okay, first vehicle up is a low van. Next vehicle, we've got a mule. Okay. Let's see what is there, if there's another car. Probably. No, just a truck and a mule. Hey, well, we should be fine. Should be. Let's follow the mule here. Sometimes these guys can take some wonky routes. I mean, you know, like I've seen these guys mess up some turns. You know, sometimes they'll overshoot a turn, and then so they'll steer back around to get it, but then they won't turn back into it, and they'll just keep driving in circles. You guys ever see that? Oh man, it's so infuriating. And then they just keep driving in donuts, and I'm just like, no, turn. I'm like, wait, no, turn there, no. You know, it's hard to say. You probably know what I mean. If you don't, it's hard to say without them illustrating it. So let's hope they don't. However, let's just hope they they go straight there. Yeah, I made those turns a little extra careful, anticipating that it might be a semi. So you might take some of these, you know, way on the far on the inside, but better safe than sorry. But so far, uneventful. We'll see what the successive vehicles are, but safe to say these guys both made it. See what it sends next time. All right, objective complete. Cool. That took a lot longer than I thought it would. I thought that was going to be like a 15-minute job.
Finally, and not a moment too soon. The village council has been buzzing in my ear all this time. I hope they'll find someone else to nag now, while we move on to something completely different, like a well-earned month-long vacation. A girl can dream, right? On the more realistic side of things, could you deliver some batches of logs to the sawmill? We still have lots of things to do here, and some lumber should help.
All right, yeah. I haven't done anything with wood since the beginning of the map. We still have the first original logs from that first route. I've only used a few of them for bridges. So it sent a mule, which means that even if it sends other trucks, a mule is in the lineup. So if it sends a semi and the semi doesn't make it, we can cancel it with a chance of a mule. You know what I mean? So we know that whatever it may send, we know a mule will make it, and we know that's part of the lineup. So, because some of them have random lineups of vehicles they send, you know? All right, let's check out our objectives. All right, so that must have been a side objective. She was... No? Okay, I already had that side objective. I thought she was describing a new one. Nope, we already had that one. Okay. We could do that. Let's see, how many do they want? 15 to the sawmill. Oh, you know, I was going to try out... I got something I want to try for that. I have this idea. So here's what we're going to do. I have no idea if this is going to work or not. We're going to pull this guy out. Do you know yet what I'm going to try? I'm going to see, I won't hold you in suspense any longer. I'm going to see if I can overlap this thing's output trigger with the input trigger of the mission and see if we can call the logs directly into the sawmill. Strictly out of curiosity, you know, not to be exploitative, but I want to see for you guys in the video, because maybe you wondered that, maybe you didn't. Well, we're going to find out if that works. It's likely that the triggers won't even pop up in an overlapped manner. One thing I have found dropping off logs is that they have to be dropped off at the point so perfectly that if 1 inch of one log is sticking out of the trigger, it won't register. So for this to work, they would have to be overlapped perfectly. Look, I don't know, but we're going to give it a shot. Where is the... somewhere around here. It's, right here. Okay. So it's just a general... Here, let's track this. Okay, it's not like a square on the ground. Sometimes it's a square on the ground, and every log has to have every scrap fully inside of it. This is just a... Okay, generic circle on the ground. So, let's try this. Boy, this thing sure doesn't turn very well. I don't drive this thing much. Well, this is a pretty recent acquisition, you know. I've had it for a little bit, but I haven't used it much. Or at least, I haven't moved it much, you know. This is kind of the thing that you park in one good spot and leave there. Although I've meant to take this, to do some off-roading with it. I want to see... I mean, how big these tracks are, how wide they are. There's hardly even any room in between the tracks for rocks to get wedged. I bet this thing would be really hard to get stuck. I bet about the only way this thing's getting stuck is if you manage to get a rocky outcropping lodged in between the front and rear sections of the vehicle. You know, high center it that way. I bet it's about the only way this thing gets stuck. Outside of just its tracks slipping on a wet rock or something. This thing's got so much contact with the ground. Alright, so we're going to try to line this up. I don't know. These triggers may not even... I don't know. We're going to find out. Okay, so I got it to appear there. If we could just inch this forward a little bit. Okay. Okay. So, in theory, this could work. Now we need to trigger it. Do we waste a thing and recall a vehicle? Nah, I'm not by nature a wasteful person. We'll drive over there. I was going to call a vehicle in, but it's like, dude, I could easily just drive over there. I'll be right there. It's just that I think we need another vehicle to use the recall function is what I'm doing. I've actually not used it yet to recall resources. To be honest, yeah, I haven't used that yet to recall resources. I've only used it to move vehicles around. So this will be my first time even using this function. I'm just assuming I need a vehicle to do it as I would from my base, you know. Okay. Moment of truth. Does this work? Guys, it was a valiant effort. Let's see. Yeah, if you didn't see, it said not enough space to spawn resource. Okay. I don't give up that easily. It's looking like it's a no. Not enough space. All right. Now, it's just, here's the thing. I didn't want to, I was trying to find a way. I was curious for the video, you know. Can we do it without picking them up and moving them and loading them? Well, theoretically, yeah. Let's move this back here. I thought if I could do it close enough, it would be almost as good. If I could do it close enough, I could grab the logs one by one and just, with the winch on the scout vehicle, and just drag them into place. Still easier than picking them up with the crane, loading them and moving them, right? There we go. That worked. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Oh, look at that one. Oh, oh no, they're flying everywhere. What? Okay. So what we got is they're close. Next best thing. So no, we cannot spawn them there, but they're close enough that we can drag them one at a time with the scout vehicle. However, they don't disappear. Yeah, I didn't figure they would. So all 15, this might actually end up, I may have made the job harder. All 15 are going to have to be here and exist in this space at the same time. Yeah. Yeah, this is not the way to do it. No. We're going to get a crane. Yeah, we're going to get a crane down here. So let's go ahead and let's call. Let's get the, let's not mess around. There's no messing around here. We're getting the big guy out here. Not playing around. If, yeah, we should be able to, what we're going to do is we're going to park him within the circle. And then when we pick up the logs, because we're parked in the circle, we should be able to just lift them up and gravity will pull them into the circle for us. That's the idea here. Oh, that's right. My crane controls are backwards. I hope they fix this problem soon. Okay, we need to move the crane out. Yeah, I used to control the crane really intuitively. Not so much right now. Oh, darn it. This is actually going to be very difficult with the crane. I made this job way harder by trying to make it easier. It would have been easy, but my crane controls are backwards, so I don't know what to do about that. It's just going to take me a minute. I'm going to have to get these moved into here very carefully. Yeah, because I had to reverse the controls so that I can use my camera. That means this is reversed now as well. But they refuse to fix it in the game, so what am I going to do? Well, we've got 12 out of 15. Now, one thing I learned, I got to go back around, see if I can activate it from this side. Don't try to call 15 logs in the same place. Okay, I can't really get there from this side. Okay. Yeah, because, well, as you saw, when I was spawning them in, I didn't think about that. I was just tapping the button 15 times. They end up calling on top of each other. Some of them flew out of the area. One of them is wedged under something and I can't pull it out. And a couple flew off. Basically, this is what happens when you try shortcuts. You usually end up having more work. Of course, I did that for you guys because I was curious to see if it would work. Okay, we'll go this way, but carefully, because I don't want to disturb the pile of logs we have there. I've just been pulling them one at a time into the thing. So we just need to call 3 more logs in, which... Yeah, it's calling them over there in the corner, oddly. Here, let's change over to my crane. Can I get them? Alright, so here's one. Why is it picking it up like that? What the heck? Oh, I picked it from the center. Oh, okay. Yeah, I changed the attach mode to just 1 point. Make it easier. I found it's easier to sling the logs around with a single attach point, and I've been picking up by the end, although this one for some reason picked up in the middle. There we go. There's 13, 2 more. Yeah, that was definitely the long way to do it. But we'll get this done. And yeah, I was just going to do that. Well, you know, now we know what we can and can't do. We can't overlap those 2 triggers. Okay, now this one is stuck, and I cannot get it. Yeah, that's stuck. Let's see. I called in 3. Where's the other one? Ah, I found one hiding on the other side of that fence. It's probably where one of them flew over out there. All right, so this will be the last one. Oops, I just need to get it in here. It took a minute on the crane controls. I had to get used to... The only part that's backwards is the extending, like extending and retracting the crane arm is backwards because that's on the right stick. It's the only part of it, but so it wasn't that hard. Okay, so
back in business. That should make them happy, unless, of course, they wanted to be lumberjacks themselves, leaping from log
well,
to
we used our
log.
logs. Yeah, we had all those logs sitting there and nothing to do with them. We got that used.
As many as they cut down, right?
All right, so that was hey, that was productive. We got let me check this route out. Yeah, what's the rewards for this route? I didn't even look. So infrastructure, warehouse route tower. Oh, it's already done, huh? Already done. Okay, cancel route and clear it. Just get it off my screen. It's done. All right, cool. So good work today. We got some stuff done here. I got a few things left to do still. Get this geyser station stuff, and I'll take care of that later. Yeah, so they haven't fixed the game yet. I still can't believe that it's been that long, and but that's what it is. So thanks for watching, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. I have more videos coming up. Thanks for watching all the way through. Yeah, I always read the comments and I reply to your guys' comments, and I appreciate them very much, as well as I appreciate your view also. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you next time. Peace out.